Karen. Oh, we got music?
Yeah.
That's not mine tonight.
It's a father-daughter duet from South Africa.
Oh, wow.
Adrian and Emma Jean Gaillard.
Very cool.
Oh, they're beautiful. She's 12.
What? That's crazy.
I just love the father-daughter piece too.
Mm-hmm. Another Wednesday.
How's everybody doing?
Another week. David, what are you up to? Does David have his... Oh, he doesn't have a microphone.
Oh,
He knows we're going to be meditating, right?
Of course.
So, how's everybody's week going?
Moving along.
Okay, moving along, huh? So we're all
had acupuncture today. That helped.
Oh, lovely. That sounds
Mhm.
I like acupuncture.
Me too.
well. Then let's just then use this time to reset and regroup and re-energize ourselves. And as we do every week, we're going to do it with our set of Earth Magic cards. We will draw one, we will reflect on it, and then we will meditate with it in mind.
Here. Yeah, that's right. He doesn't have a microphone set up. Can you help him?
Oh, he's been on Zoom before, so I'm going to assume that.
No, he's left a message he can't hear.
Oh, he can't hear me?
He can't hear anybody. He doesn't have a symbol of a microphone on his computer.
Oh, I do not know. I have no idea why that wouldn't. I have no clue. That would be a setting on the inside.
Yeah. There's no mic by your name.
I think he's already meditating.
David.
Testing. Are you able to hear me now?
Oh, we can hear you.
But he doesn't have a mic by his name in the participants, so he doesn't have a mic turned on.
Well,
That's so strange.
He doesn't need the mic turned on to hear me, though. So.
Well, he has to have a mic in his system.
Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wants silent meditation.
No, he sent a chat that he can't hear.
I don't know why, David. I would just say try to sign out again and sign back in.
That's what I said. If you have one, restart.
Hello, Joyce.
Hello.
Joyce, how are you?
I'm wonderful.
Good.
That's good.
Glad to hear. We're just trying to help David get through his technical issue. I'm not sure why.
Oh, he's out. He's going to try going back in.
He went out, so maybe he did read the chat.
I see connecting to audio.
Audio.
Okay. Okay.
Well, we can only hope.
Okay.
It says connecting to audio, David. So
We don't hear you.
I could get him on my phone.
Oh, there he is. He's muted now.
Okay.
Hey, David.
David, and you're good.
Take it off of mute.
You don't have to unmute. No one has to mute or unmute. This is your night.
Well, I know, but we want to say hi.
If people by themselves, I never want anybody to think. I know how challenging it can be.
That's okay.
So, hello. We're all here. I think we all have audio. I'm excited. So, as I was saying, we begin our evening by working with these beautiful cards. They're called the Earth Magic cards, and they guide us for our week. So we choose a card. It's got a word as well as a meaning of the word or an implication of the word throughout our week. And then we will meditate on that card. So let's just take a moment to center ourselves first before we start to read. So let's just take some deep breaths together before we begin our meditation, and inhale and exhale and inhale again and exhale. And one last deep breath, inhale and exhale. We just take this moment to thank the divine, the creator, however we see the power that is greater than ourselves and greater than this earth, for the opportunity to gather here each week to share not just ideas and not just concepts, but just the presence of one another. As we go into a space, a shared space, even though we are separate, together to experience a deeper sense of ourselves as individual souls and ourself as a community soul. Amen. So we know how this works, guys. I'm going to hold up these cards while I shuffle them, and you're going to hold up your hands for me and giving them lots of energy. I'm not looking, and then I always draw the top card because that's the one everybody knows that I'm drawing, and I'm not looking. And I'm not a good shuffler, but, or at least that's the story I've told myself. And so I can feel the energy being added. And so our card tonight is, what is it? Ooh. Oh, how beautiful. So it's spring equinox and rebirth. Spring equinox and rebirth. And I'm actually going to give you guys the opportunity to see the card because I've got a new camera set up today, so you can actually look at the card while I am speaking to you. So, what do we know about spring equinox and rebirth? Well, before we even read the book, is there any better time for rebirth? The fact of the matter is, each and every day that we open our eyes is the opportunity to be born again, to renew ourselves, refresh ourselves, and to see life from a new set of eyes than the life that we saw the day before. The power is in the now. The power is in this moment that we have. Nothing else exists in reality, only this moment that we have. So, remember that old commercial and the saying, today is the first day of the rest of your life. The truth is, each moment is the first moment of the rest of our lives. So let us see about this rebirth. And again, it's a spring equinox card. However, we're speaking metaphorically for us as a group and for us as individuals tonight. The spring equinox, also called the vernal equinox, occurs on March 20th or 21st in the Northern Hemisphere and on September 20th or 21st in the Southern Hemisphere. So theoretically, yes, it's the spring equinox in the Southern Hemisphere. This is the point when the sun crosses the plane of the equator and day and night are the same length across the planet. Earth Mother is pregnant and is birthing once again. Crops can once again be planted. This card features a rendition of Ostara, sometimes called Ostra or Easter, a Germanic goddess of spring. Ostara is also a Northern European name for Astarte, which means womb, and is another name for Venus, the goddess of love, passion, and creativity. The Christian holiday of Easter stems from this goddess, and in this card we see some archetypal symbols of the spring equinox which represent the rebirth of the world, such as rabbits and eggs and flowers. It is indeed a time of renewal. You thought this passage you have been through would never end. Just as certain as the light of the world fades every few months, it makes its return and the earth rejoices. The fresh breath of spring sweeps away the cobwebs acquired from the absence of the light. The light is now obviously increasing as nature begins to emerge in all of her many forms, shapes, and colors that remind us of the continual cycles of Earth Mother. This cycle of rebirth you are experiencing follows a considerably challenging time. Any tears you may have shed have cleared the way for what has been gestating, for what is now ripe and ready to emerge. That which no longer serves you needs to be put to rest so that a freshness and newness of spirit can make itself known to you. Sometimes birth can be painful, particularly in that passage just before delivery. And yet what emerges can be fresh and beautiful. Be with the emergence of this next cycle with faith and grace. And so I think that it is in the closing words that we are able to apply this card as a metaphor in its entirety, in its completion, in its effectiveness. Be with the emergence of this next cycle with faith and with grace. So whatever is ahead of us as we close one cycle and begin the next, we can reflect on those words, faith and grace, as the guides that we use to assess how we are responding to each moment in this cycle. I think that's beautiful. Again, every moment is the moment and the opportunity for our own rebirth. We only need to claim it as such. And so take one more good look at the card. Study some of its detail. The beautiful Earth Mother with vines cascading out of her hair, the butterfly, the birds, the rabbit. All of those symbols of our changing cycle. So we'll take these moments, the next moments, to reflect on the card, to go into meditation. And I'm going to ask you to turn off your video if you can, or I can turn it off for you. And to turn off your audio. And again, this is the time that we have chosen for ourselves to relax. We've chosen to do it together. And so it is in that spirit that we will take this journey together. And as we've been doing for the last several weeks, let's just get in touch with our breathing at our own respective paces. Let's just start paying attention to our breath. And we want to make sure we're drawing our breath in slowly, inhaling through our nose, a nice full breath that fills our entire body, and holding it for a moment, and then exhaling nice and slowly at our own pace. And again, at our own pace, drawing in a nice, deep breath, holding and exhaling. And one more deep and focused breath, inhale. Hold at our own pace. And exhale. And now we're going to allow our breath to return to a natural cadence. but we will be conscious of it as we breathe in slowly and deeply. Pause for just a second and exhale. We will return to this breath as our touchstone as we take this journey. And as we're breathing, I want us to imagine that on each exhale, we become more and more relaxed. Each time we exhale, we allow ourselves to just fold into wherever we are sitting or lying down, to just become one with the environment that we've chosen to experience this journey this evening. We allow ourselves to do this with safety and confidence. We know that our physical space will be held for us by our aura and the etheric energy that surrounds us. So we can comfortably begin to enter into the spirit space within. Just allow ourselves to be carried by the tones deeper and deeper. As we go deeper, we realize that we are free. Free from any worry that might have accompanied us on our way here tonight. Free from any pain, either physical or emotional or mental. We are free. And we allow this freedom to nourish this spiritual presence in this sacred space. Deeper and deeper, relaxed, safe, and comfortable. Just as the sound of the last tone drifts into the ether, we allow our focus and attention to call up in our mind's eye that card of the spring equinox, the card that affirms our rebirth and renewal in this moment. The card that reminds us that rebirth in each moment is our choice. And so we picture that card in our minds. And some of the details of that card begin to float into the forefront of our memory. Maybe they were really there, maybe they were just what we saw, but those images begin to float right in front of where our mind's eye is, where our third eye would be. Do we see the goddess's face? Did a particular flower stand out for us? Was it one of the animals? Or was it the overall presence of the card? That sense of something renewed, that expectancy of renewal and rebirth and re-energizing. So as we picture that card in our mind and one of the elements of it that has popped into our minds, we realize that as these spiritual bodies right now, that we can actually embody that element in the card just by thinking it. And so we actively choose to just become one with that element in the card that stands out for us. Perhaps we see it glowing. The longer we stare at it in our mind's eye, the more we realize we are becoming it. But aligning with this element is what is guiding us now to our own sense of rebirth and renewal. And so for the next few moments, from the vantage point of being inside this card, I want us to think about where we were in our lives in the moments before we read the card. What in those moments were we ready to release? What from those moments will no longer be part of us when we are reborn in this space? And what in those moments we envisioned, whether we knew we were getting this card or not, what were our intentions and dreams and visions that we might be able to embrace in this intentional space of rebirth this evening. So again, as the tones begin, just allow yourself to think of those moments without judging them, and with pure love. This is your moment of rebirth. This is a safe space that we've chosen to enter together, to reflect, to empower, and to enjoy. Now that we've reflected on those moments before we drew that card, we begin to envision we begin to see clearly the newness that awaits us. As reborn beings, ours is not to predict or to plan right now, but ours is to be excited and enthusiastic and open to the possibilities for us in this rebirth. Unburdened from old stories, released from old pains and fears. Free from blockages and burdens. The birth and the rebirth that awaits us enables us to see the sheer, beautiful magic and possibility for us. Whatever awaits us is that opportunity and possibility for our growth and awareness and empowerment. So on this journey of rebirth, we're just going to move as the burgeoning being returned, as if we are floating on a river, flowing rapidly to the sea of great and grand possibility. So we just allow ourselves in this beautiful sacred space to float with swiftness but gentleness down the river, filled with many lifetimes of dreams, many lifetimes of experiences of love and connection, many lifetimes of aligning with our magical gifts as we flow and flow and flow. Our essences are filled with gifts, so many gifts, just waiting to be expressed in our world once we're born. With eagerness and excitement, we seem to flow faster and faster and faster. The anticipation of life and its possibilities and opportunities is almost overwhelming our precious little baby spirits, spirits that have grown to know and love more and more. Our birth awaits us. And soon before we know it, we are plunged out into the ocean, the vast ocean of life, our new rebirth, our new soul. the ocean waters become suddenly still and peaceful and calm. Of the souls that have chosen to join in this journey on this evening. We may not know their names, we may not remember their faces, but we remember as we all began to enter into this space together, we remember the essence of one another. And as we float peacefully in these calm, still ocean waters of the possibility of our life, we begin to connect and reconnect, each of us renew and reborn souls, saying hello in that wordless spirit way, greeting one another with joy and expectancy, promising one another that we will meet again today, tomorrow, sometime again in this lifetime or the next. This journey and going through it together and realizing that we are never alone in this space gives us even more confidence and strength in this place of rebirth this evening. We've been reborn. Everything is fresh and everything is new. Life awaits us. And so it is now, with this confidence and support and encouragement, that we choose to begin our return to our physical space. That space being held for us by our aura, by our etheric body. And so we just gently begin to imagine that body that we remember having. Perhaps it was a few minutes ago, perhaps it was a lifetime ago. But knowing that we can return to this body with this freshness and this beautiful new perspective of opportunity, we joyfully anticipate and intentionally choose our return to it. And so it's almost like we close our eyes a little deeper than they were before. And this presence, this spirit being that we've been, begins to dissipate in the ocean waters and begins to reconnect and regroup and rebuild on the other side, back here in the earth plane. And we feel ourselves just filling in the spaces of the outline of our physical self. Each one of us differently. Are we coming from the center and out? Are we coming from the crown and down? But we're just gently filling in that space of our physical selves, held so beautifully and gently. And we realize as we fill in that space, how good we feel physically, how relaxed. How renewed. There's no pain. And our energy is full and whole and complete. And so in these final moments, as we fill in our body and begin to recognize our hands and our feet and our arms, we begin to feel the root chakra spinning and feeling the surge going up into the orange of our sacral chakra, or into our solar plexus, into our heart, into our throat and our third eye, and our crown. We are flowing. We are reborn. And in this physical space, we suddenly become aware of that breath, keeping us nourished in and out, just flowing so naturally in and out. In and out. And our final step is we will choose to return fully to our space, wherever we are, and to the space that we are sharing together. And so we'll take 3 deep breaths. We'll exhale quickly, and then on the last one, we will open our eyes together. So let's take a breath in and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. One more deep breath. Inhale and exhale. I say welcome back, and I'm so very grateful that we were able to take this journey together. We were able to trust one another so that our individual journeys could be so special, and then realize just how special they are when we recognized our fellow beings in that vast ocean of life's opportunity.
Nashville.
So I invite everyone this week to remember that ocean whenever we start to feel confined, or when we start to feel like we are feeling pressure, we are feeling like we are being pulled in a direction by something that is not us, that it is the ocean of opportunity and possibility that has happened tonight in this rebirth. And let's check in on that next week when we convene again. So I'm going to say goodnight. I'm going to switch cameras so I can say goodnight to you close up. And hope you guys have a great week.
Hi, Kathleen. Good night, Kathleen.
Nice to see you.
Bye, Joyce. Goodbye, Joyce.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Okay.
Did David get back on? Oh, he did, right?
What?
David got back on, right?
Yes, he could hear. He was here for meditation.
He just left like a minute ago.
Okay. All righty. Well, thank you, guys. Joyce, good to see you.
Yeah.
Nice to see everybody. I miss everybody.
We miss you too. We miss you. You're doing okay?
I am.
Good. Glad to hear it.
I'm
Looks like it.
healthy.
I follow you on Facebook, so it looks good.
Good night.
Good night. Mwah.
Good night.
Bye, Joyce. Good night.
Okay, bye.
Bye.